This flat iron steak is going to get marinated, seared, sliced, and then served in a rice bowl. If you're unfamiliar with the flat iron steak, here it is. This cut comes from the same area they get a chuck roast out of, so it's particularly inexpensive. Now, even though this cut is relatively cheap, it's still well marbled, full of flavor, and super tender. If you've never tried one before, consider picking two of them up so you can enjoy one as a normal steak with salt and pepper, to become acquainted with the flavor profile and tenderness. The second steak you can heavily season or drop in a delicious marinade, which is what I ended up doing. So let's get our marinade ready. For the marinade, you'll need a teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of pepper, tablespoon of garlic, tablespoon of ginger, and some honey. I made the mistake of dropping in the honey with my dry ingredients, which quickly got messy. So yeah, don't do that. But since this is enough honey, I'll need to drop in a little bit more. In a mixing bowl, add about a cup of soy sauce and drop in your ingredients. As promised, I'll drop in the rest of the honey. Should be about 1 tablespoon of honey. Drop in some rice vinegar. I use about a tablespoon. Add in a third cup of orange juice. Then a tablespoon of sesame oil. And about another tablespoon of avocado oil. Optionally, drop in about a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Mix well. We aren't going to use all of this marinade for our steak, so be sure to reserve some of it for our vegetables. You can also make a sauce so you could pour over your rice bowl. In a bag, let's drop in our steak and our marinade. Remember not to drop all of it in, and reserve about a quarter cup of this mixture and put it off to the side. Once the bag is sealed, put it in the fridge for 2 to 3 hours. You don't want to marinate longer than this. This marinade contains orange juice and vinegar. The acid will break down the meat too much, so don't leave it in there for too long. I've lit a small chimney of charcoal, which I'm dumping over a layer of unlit charcoal in the slow and sear. Remove the steak from the marinade and pat dry. I'm adding an additional all-purpose rub. And now, let's sear. Flip after 2 minutes. And then rotate. Flip once more. Now, since this is a thick steak, I'm going to cover and let it come up to temperature. My target temperature here is between 125 and 135 for a nice medium rare. A few minutes later, I'll check it. The thicker side still needs a few minutes, so I'll cover and check again later. Now that it's reached a medium rare temperature, I'll remove, let it rest, and grill my vegetables. I'll be frying up some broccoli and carrots. These have been pre-boiled for about 3 minutes. And now I'm just finished them off in the pan. And remember that sauce that I reserved earlier on? Let's drop some of that in. Now that the steak has rested and our vegetables are done, let's slice. Now this cuts really easily. It's super tender and it's a perfect medium rare. Let's taste. Ooh, check it out. Let's look. This is really tender. Flavors are really spot on. I could probably eat this right now as it is, but it's time to plate this. Okay, I have some white rice in a bowl. I'll drop in my broccoli and carrots. And then add in our sliced steak. This turned out great. So much flavor, and it's a great way to serve it.